Hey everyone, Andrea here with the HIT.OR.DIE podcast to give our friend and listener a huge shout out. Cal Valley Electric serves all of your electrical needs, big and small. With over 14 years of experience in commercial buildings, schools, hospitals, offices, and of course residential property, Cal Valley Electric can handle it all. Cal Valley Electric also offers turnkey solar and home inspections. For any of your electrical needs, contact Adam Moreno with Cal Valley Electric at 559-577-4018 or by email adam@calvalleyelectric.com. Again, that number is 559-577-4018. Thank you, Cal Valley Electric, for sponsoring this episode of Hit or Die.
You're listening to the HIT.OR.DIE podcast with hosts Jake Soldati and Chad Rothberg.
All right, welcome to HIT.OR.DIE podcast, episode 15. We're here with Madera legend. You're laughing, but it's true. He's probably the best athlete to ever come out of this school. And a three-sport athlete, football, wrestling, and baseball. Alec Gamboa, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm going to have to attest to that. I don't know. There's been a lot of great athletes that came out of Madera, for sure.
I've only seen you, so that's all I'm going to go with.
But I'd take the compliment for sure, absolutely.
You are definitely one of the best.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I mean, you're a Madera guy, so you'd know. I only coached there for 7 years, and I got to see him firsthand, so I can't really go off anything else.
I didn't get to see a lot of guys. I mean, I guess I have.
I mean, Paulinelli would be up there, I guess.
That was what I was
Kenny
I remember watching him play football. Unbelievable.
Yeah, D1 football guy.
Basketball.
Was a good athlete, too.
Baseball.
Three-sport. Byer was pretty phenomenal.
Did he play all three, too?
Yep. Football.
Yeah.
As a sophomore, varsity sports, he played
I mean, those are the three common, but if you got to go off football and then wrestling, I mean, that's tough because he's going football, gain weight, wrestling, lose weight, and then go all the way to the state. Then you're missing baseball time, and then come in and dominate baseball. That's pretty tough.
I mean, before that too, in the 90s, I remember because there's going to be guys that obviously I never got to see, like Brandon Henderson was a good athlete.
Yeah, he was with Paulinelli.
Yeah. His father was another good athlete.
Oh, yeah. Running back.
Yep,
Reggie was nasty.
Brad Harper was a good football player. People may not even know that he was a running back at Madera High School, and he was a beast. So there's a lot of athletes, but definitely three-sport standout. Like, I still think about your guys' Valley title game at was it Hanford
Memorial?
No, football.
Yeah, we went to it. Yeah, the Hanford game.
And was that the play you jumped from like the 4 or 5 yard line in the end zone?
Yeah,
that was a ridiculous play.
Yeah.
So definitely one of the best.
Loss.
Yeah, it was bad. It was terrible. I know. I thought we came out strong the first half, really strong. Their offense, we knew they were really tough, and our defense came 3 straight stops, and we were like, our offense needs to put in some work, and we had some, mishandles with the ball, and kind of paid for it in the end, and we lost that one, I think 35-14.
Yeah, it was tough. We drove down there and went to it.
That was a good Hanford team though too.
They were good. That was a good Division II game. But before we get into Alec, let's talk a little bit. Sam Flores passed. That's one of the reasons why we didn't put out a podcast last week. A big time baseball guy in the community, meant a lot to everybody around. You got to play, for him at
3 years. Yeah.
What do you have anything to say about Sammy?
He was an amazing guy. Every time he showed up at the ballpark, he was there. He was doing something. He was always working his ass off to get us ready. And he was just, one of those guys that he was really close with the players, and he loved to bullshit with us, and that's what we loved about him. And it was tough. When I heard the news, I didn't want to believe it. My dad had told me, hey, Coach Flores passed away, and I thought, I hope he's not talking about Sam Flores. No way. 41 years old and real healthy guy, and he was like, yeah, he passed away last night, and I kept thinking about, he had his 2-year-old boy, Cal, that he loved so much, and he'd bring him out to the ballpark, and it's just, you never want to see anything like that, and, I feel so bad for his family and what they're going through, and, it's just a tough time, real tough time.
Yeah, it's still even today. It's only been a week, so it's not like it's...
Yeah.
No, it's hard for like guys that played for him, but I mean, with us, we have kids, we can't even imagine what his family's going through.
No, that's definitely one of the hardest parts. You know, I didn't know him too well personally.
Mm-hmm.
We'd had some conversations in the past, and especially times at the Easter Classic dinner. And guy he knew how to light up a room, man.
Absolutely.
Always had some good stories, and so yeah, we just wanted to pay our respects to Coach Flores, and there is a GoFundMe out there for him and his family. We'd encourage everybody, if you got a shot or able to help him out, we encourage you to go do so. Again, just a lot of respect for Coach Scott and Solberg. And that whole staff, man. They're definitely something to play for this year and the years to come. Hopefully that long-lasting relationship with the program and guys. You know, he recruited a lot of guys.
Oh, yeah. He recruited a lot of guys, and he sent a lot of guys out, too. That was one thing that, you know, I knew he wasn't there to win games. He was there to better kids' lives. There was kids that had been on the squad for 2 years that were bench players, and he'd send them off to 4-year schools to go play and get their education all the time. We sent kids everywhere. If you weren't a starter, he was going to send you somewhere. That's how much pull he had. And it was, and that's how you knew he wasn't there just to win games. He was there for the kids.
That's big, too, especially in this era. But that GoFundMe, you can go on the Rams Baseball Twitter account, Facebook, and I know Coach Solberg's doing big things on Facebook, getting it out there. So if you want to help his family out in that aspect. But now, I mean, it's hard to move on, but, you know, we're getting into, you played at Fresno State out of high school.
Yeah.
You know, they're talking about the third assistant now. Again, it's coming back up. It's going to get voted on. Most likely, it looks like it might pass this time to at least go to another vote.
Well, considering there was supposed to be a couple years to wait on this,
exactly,
to see it turn around in October. Well, we talked to Coach Vanderhook and Coach Savage, and you know, we didn't record some of the stuff, some of the things we talked about, but you know, it's a lot of work, man.
Yeah,
I mean, it's for being a volunteer. I mean, the hours. You know, whether it's getting stations ready, the gifts across the field there. I mean, the amount of work they have to do is pretty incredible. So hopefully this passes.
Well, Marietta was saying that, you know, you're on a road trip, that volunteer assistant comes back, gets off the bus, and he's got lessons lined up to make extra cash.
Yeah, say you played, so you're there at, let's say they played Long Beach and they finished the series Sunday. You know, they get back Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening. He's at the facility till 9, 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Doing lessons.
Just trying to make money.
And that's pretty much every day, I think, is kind of what he said.
Yeah.
You know, you could get off the plane, you go, you know, play somewhere and fly back Sunday, and that's what you're doing Sunday night. So
constant work all the time.
Yeah, and then, I mean, to even help with recruiting, I mean, they can even help in other ways.
They do. Local. I mean, let's be honest. They go local and watch and chart and stuff. They might not be the guys that talk to the players because they're volunteers, but they go do that work and take video.
So, yeah, we'll have to see. I said D1 baseball is saying October they'll revisit that vote, so let's cross our fingers. Hopefully that thing passes. I don't know if there's any stipulations with the softball in it or whatnot. I just saw that he posted they'll revisit in October on it. So, and then also you had one of your players commit.
Yeah, Hayden Driggs out of Clovis West, catcher, just verbally committed to St. Mary's University. So good for him. That's number 3 for Clovis West, and add to the list of all the Valley guys that are signing Division I or verbally committed. They'll sign in November. But yeah, congratulations to him. Congratulations to Clovis West, and I look forward to seeing what he can do this year.
Yeah, he'd be a 3-year guy, right?
3-year guy. He'll be in the middle of the lineup. Great arm, great defense, good pop. Just got to work on a little bit of little things and get him better, and he'll be ready to go.
St. Mary's will be nice. That's going to be really nice.
I remember watching him his sophomore year in the semis against Buchanan, and I was blown away. Honestly, there were a couple plays in there, and I told KP after, I was like, dude, he may have won the game for you guys single-handedly.
Oh, yeah.
A couple pass balls that didn't happen. I mean, he made some pretty nice blocks to save some runs. So good for him, man. We'll keep our eye out there. And then, we were scrolling Twitter like we always do. And
Gamboa's a big Twitter guy.
Yeah, I'm huge on Twitter. I've definitely slowed it down over the past couple of years, but I probably need to slow down some more. Yeah, no, Twitter. I'm on Twitter probably too much than I need to be. But no, I love Twitter.
We were talking before. You can't not talk about it. The best player in the game
Oh, by far.
And the highest paid player in the game. With a team that's out of it. Would you say, Chad, they were 26 back?
26 games.
Yeah.
And was it 2 days ago, 3 days ago? Beating out not a routine ground ball, but Simeon's a very capable shortstop with a good arm. And it was probably, 2-3 steps to his backhand side, and he's beating out a ball to first base.
God, that's ridiculous.
Here's the tweet, the real Kent Murphy. You got to go check him out on YouTube. The Angels are 26 games back. Mike Trout has 45 homers and is making over $33 million. And he hit a ball, hard ground ball too. It wasn't just like a soft ground ball. It was a hard ground ball to Simeon's backhand side, probably about 3 or 4 steps, and beat it out to first base. And it just goes to show you why I think he's a great role model, and kids should look up to a player like him. He's worth every penny, and I think he's the only one worth every penny. We've had that conversation before, and this is why. There's a lot of guys out there, and that I know you had a guy on the Dodgers last year that probably would have stopped halfway down the line or jogged, and he ended up getting $300 million this year.
Yeah,
but that's just the type of player he is. He wants to win, and he wants to. I bet he's trying to get over 300, that batting average, because he's just under 300. So I bet you that's his thing. He wants to get over that and be in the race for MVP, which he will be. But that's just amazing to see that. I got fired up when I saw it. It's like,
it fires
kids need to watch this stuff.
Any baseball player, that has to fire you up. This guy, I love watching Trout just because he does that all the time. Watching him run balls down in the outfield. The guy, he's, like you said, a role model. And I love watching Mike Trout play because, he's going to give 110% effort every time. And that's why I was so happy that he signed that big deal.
I will say this. I'm a big fan. I love Mike Trout a lot. He's probably one of my top 3 favorite players. But do you think it's kind of ridiculous that this is like making news? That he played hard, that he did it the right way?
Yes.
It's kind of sad, right? That this is
because of how many people don't play like he does. I think that's why this makes news like that, because like you said, the guy that, played for the Dodgers last year, there's a lot of guys in the league that don't play with as much heart he has as much heart as Trout has. It's very rare you see guys play like that.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be that way.
No,
but
absolutely not.
There was video of I don't know if it was spring training or not, but it was one Joey Votto hit that pop up.
Oh yeah, and he got the second.
And it was minor league.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if he was like rehab.
Oh yeah, he was minor league. They probably just sent him down for a minor league game.
I forget what it was, but that kind of stuff, man. Like we're praising that, and we should. Granted, it's awesome to see that.
That should be automatic.
But we're putting it on this pedestal, and it's like this is what you should do. We preach it every day to work this hard, and yet these guys are doing it. And granted, it's awesome to see it, especially being 26 out. And he's been battling some bugs here lately, some injuries.
Yeah,
Trout has.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I love it, and I think it should be seen by kids. I just think it's weird that we're at this point in the game and society where we're praising dudes from playing the right way.
And I get the whole let the kids play thing. I get that, but go watch him pimp a home run, and you should do it that way. Because he doesn't pimp a home run.
No, he doesn't.
He puts it down with swag.
And that ball he hit a ball a week ago.
He makes it look swaggy, though.
Yeah.
He hit a ball a week ago, dead center. I want to say...
when you know, man.
I mean, he crushed it. I might have been at home. I forget where it was.
His swing is so sweet.
It is.
His swing is so sweet. I love his swing.
Judge doesn't really pimp him.
No, Judge doesn't either.
He's another good ball player.
Nolan Arenado is probably one of my favorite players. I don't see him pimp him.
No.
Another guy that goes about
walk-off, that's a different thing. I've seen him pimp a walk-off, but that's a walk-off. I mean, you have to pimp a walk-off. It's not a homer where you're down 5-3 and you pimp a home run. Get that out of here.
But no, it's Trout's a beast, man. Deserves every penny, and I think it's cool that he's getting love for it. You know what I mean? Like people notice that. That's awesome. I just think it's weird that
it's just whoa. It's Mike Trout.
I'm guys that have been in the league for a long time look at that and be like, "What is it? He ran a hard first base."
Yeah.
So it is what it is. But here we got Gamboa, Mr. Alec Gamboa, sitting with us.
We've been trying to get him for a long time now. So
he was supposed to be the first guest of the podcast.
Yeah. But he scheduled a time. This is what's funny about Alec. He scheduled a time where I know because I've been there in spring training and whatnot that I know he scheduled it for 11:30, but he's on the field till about 2:00 in the afternoon. So I knew for some reason that it wasn't going to happen, and it didn't. But we're fortunate enough that we got him back in person. It's better in person, anyways. And, you finished strong. I mean, you would, like we said at Madera, you were 4-year letter in wrestling, 4-year letter in. Well, you would have been in baseball, but you broke your ankle. Yeah. So 3-year letter in football, 3-year letter in baseball. You had 15 career wins with an ERA with, about a 1.4. Yeah. And then, you went to Fresno State, kicked back to Fresno City, had Tommy John. I've been through that, so I know how that is in the rehab. Right. And then last year you put up amazing numbers at Fresno City. 64 innings pitched, 97 Ks. That's unbelievable for anybody out there that can try to put that together. 8-1 record with the ERA of 1.97. And then you were drafted in the 9th round by the Dodgers, which is the team that you've dreamt of playing for your entire life.
I was a little kid, yeah.
And you also got to go pitch at Chavez Ravine for a workout, which I bet was just
unbelievable.
Unbelievable. So, I mean, go through that process of, let's go from TJ, having Tommy John, because sometimes it ended my career, but I was older and I was,
it was close for me, for sure. It was definitely close for me. I was excited when that season I was dealing with a couple things with my elbow, and it was always on and off kind of pain, right? And I knew it was in the elbow, and so I'd always talk to Sully about it, and he's like, go talk to Limbo. So we went over there and we did some MRIs, and he's like, hey, it's partially torn. We can do 6 weeks of therapy. It'll be good to go. So we'll do that. I did that, did 6 weeks of therapy. Started coming back little by little, and it was still there. And I was like, I can't pitch. It was weird because I can throw about 20 pitches, and then I'd be hurting bad. And so he's like, all right. Solberg's like, all right, we're going to call Curlin Joe. That's where the guy is. We'll call them. So we called them, ended up went in to go see him, got there, did an MRI, and he's like, hey, yeah, it's partially torn. And the best way he described it for me, he's like, if you have a rope, he was like, it's still connected, but little bits of the thread are starting, come off. And so eventually it's going to tear. He's like, if you want to keep playing baseball, you're going to have to get this surgery. He's like, do you still want to keep playing baseball? I said, of course. Yeah, I want to still keep playing baseball. And he was like, I knew you were going to say that. He's like, so let's do this. So, and I was excited for it because, you hear all these stories about Tommy John and all these guys coming back stronger. And so I was pumped for it. Got the surgery, and no, I didn't have any pain with it really, which was kind of weird. So I was doing, I think I started my therapy about, a month after my surgery, I think it was. Went down to Sierra Pacific, maybe about 2 months in of therapy, it started taking a toll on me. And I could see it, because my entire life, I've been playing sports. I've been competing, and I got, this is my arm. I've been, pitching, and I'm vulnerable. I can't throw a pitch, and I just feel weak, and it started taking a toll on me. I was kind of I started giving up a little bit on the therapy. It was kind of, do I really want to play this? This is too long, 18 months before I can start competing again. So I took a break. I wasn't really doing my throwing program. And Scott would always text me. He's like, hey, how's it going? How's my lefty? I felt bad because I knew I was letting a lot of people down. And I was like, man, I don't know if I want to do this. And so, I was still working out here and there. I didn't really have I would go to Planet Fitness here and there and do my own thing and kind of Google what I needed to do to get it stronger. And so I did that, and, little by little I got there and started, playing catch, and went to City that next, because I missed the next entire season. Then I went in the fall of 2018 is when I started pitching, and even in that fall, I was kind of still taking it slow. As it kept going, I started getting more, pumped about this. I'm like, all right, I'm almost there. Come on, finish it. Let's do this. Come on, let's do it. my first game back was, I missed like the first like 3 weeks, 4 weeks of the season. It's kind of, the coaches were a little skeptical, but Solberg stayed with me the entire time. And, it ended up, everything worked out for the good and started shoving a little bit. At first, arm felt weak. I think my first bullpen at 60 feet was like, I was throwing like low 80s. Wasn't really throwing too hard. And then as the season kept going, I got stronger. And it had a good season. And no, I was happy for it. My first game back, after I got off the mound, came in the dugout, I would be lying if I didn't, if I said I didn't cry a little bit, because it was definitely an emotional ride for me. 18 months, I didn't get to play any type of activity, it's just, I wanted to be on the field with the guys. And the whole 18 months, it was tough. I mentally, physically, and emotionally, one of the worst things I had gone through. But I'm glad I pushed through it because I wouldn't be, where I'm at right now. But yeah, it was nice. Being able to come back and shove, and it felt good.
You guys made a little run too.
We did. Yeah, we did. We made a nice little run. Made it to playoffs. I think we had Cabrillo first round. Ended up 2-0 on Cole started it off. Cole, he was a great pitcher for us. He's going to do good things in USD. But first game, he came in, shoved. I came in game 2, great outing, and 2-0 them. And then after that, we went to Ohlone. And Ohlone, they're a good ball club. They could hit, and they lit us up. I think first game, they put up 18 runs on us. And Cole had an injury. So he came in, first inning, and he was doing good, doing real good. And something happened to, I think it was his finger. Something happened where he didn't have any feeling in his finger, and he couldn't control the ball. And so we were devastated. We had to take him out. He couldn't throw a strike because of the whole finger thing. So we went to our bullpen, and we had a good bullpen. But when you're facing Ohlone, you're going to need a damn good bullpen. And they lit us up a little bit. I think that game 1 they put up 18 runs. In game 2, I ut to start for that, and I was excited because I knew that they could hit, and I was like, let's get in some competition here. Let's do this. And early on, they put 2 runs up in the second inning, so we were down 2-0, and I was like, God, come on, we need to hit their guy. And I think the very next inning, Adam Munoz, bases loaded, comes up, hits a grand slam. We're up 4-2, and that pretty much sealed the deal for me. Kept pitching, started striking some big guys. They had some guys on the team. I think they had the what are they? The big stick of the year. Yeah, they had their guy 4-hitter who was phenomenal. I think he actually hit a double off the wall. But no, it was a great game. We ended up winning that one 6-2, and then game 3, we had to use our bullpen because our guys were done. They put up another 18 spot on us. Yeah, it was tough. But no, for a while there we were running through teams, and it was fun. Definitely fun.
Season's ending, and obviously you hate losing the last game.
Oh yeah.
But then you get a call. I mean, you've been obviously talking with the Dodgers all year and stuff, and you get a call for a workout at Chavez Ravine. I mean, what did that feel like? And
so the first time I knew about the workout, it was Saracoso, and Tom had came down. That's his name, Tom Kunis, the scout Dodger. He's a coach in Rancho Cucamonga with the Quakes. He's like, hey, we got a workout May 26th down in Chavez Ravine. We would love for you to come pitch, and I want you to show these guys what you got. I was like, let's do this. I'm down for that. Heck yeah, man. And I was pumped. I was looking forward to it the whole time. And so we go down there, and I get there. I'm kind of nervous a little bit, walking into the stadium, and the lady at the gate, she gives me my shirt with the Dodger, and you got a number on your back. I'm like, God, this is a tryout right now, And so I get down to the field, and I see these big dudes down there. They hit batting practice. Some guys from like Oklahoma State, Michigan State, all these top name schools, and they're hitting tanks. I'm like, wow, there's some guys here. I'm gonna have to prove myself. And so the pitchers went after the hitters. We had some guys, from top name schools there, the pitchers, and I think I ended up throwing. There was only 10 of us, I think, and I threw like 7th in the order. And as I'm warming up, you get assigned a catcher. I think he said he went to some NAI down in LA. I can't remember what the name of the school was, and we were talking a little bit. He's like, "So what do you throw?" I'm like, "This and that." At this point, before I was playing catch with a kid from Pepperdine, and my arm felt so good, and I'm like, maybe it's the adrenaline with this, this whole Dodger thing. And so I get on the mound, and I'm throwing my pitches, and curveballs on, changeups on, 2-seam, 4-seam were on. And one of the guys like, hey, Gamboa, you're up. Let's go. So I'm walking. I'm shake my catcher's hand. He's like, dude, that's some of the nastiest stuff I have ever caught. I was like, dude, I don't know where this came from. Like, I am pumped right now. So I go out to the mound, and I throw like 15, 20 pitches for him. And about 10 pitches in, the guy, I'm going to get in trouble if I can't remember his name because I see him all the time now. God, what's his name? Okay, I'm going to get in trouble. Anyways, he comes up to me, and he's like, hey, I two-seam, change-up, slider, strike. I'm hitting my spots like no other. And he's like, dude, I think you just set a Dodger workout record right now. Because I haven't, like, it was short. All these guys were throwing like 30, 35 pitches. I just threw 20 because I was on. And so afterwards, Tom comes up to me and he's like, dude, you did it. You did it, man. He was like, that's what we needed you to do. We needed you to perform in front of these guys. And that's what you did. He goes, now, me and you, we did what we needed to do. Now it's in their hands. Whatever, when the draft comes, we'll see what they want to do. Sure enough, I go home and I get that call from the Dodgers and said, hey, it worked out. You did what you needed to do that day, and we want you.
You had to get through day one, though. I remember we talked.
Day one,
we talked day one and day two.
Yeah, day one, I kind of, I was honestly looking, I told you day 3 was my day.
Right.
I didn't think anywhere in the top 10 rounds. And so day one, I was just kind of watching, you never know. And so we watched it. Nothing happened, obviously. I saw somebody's guy from Fresno State. I wanted to see where he'd go. I knew he'd go in the first round for sure, Ryan Jensen. And so I'm watching, and then day 2 comes around, and, I'm still listening to it. Maybe something might happen. Maybe. But I'm like, no, it's day 3. We've already talked. It's going to be day 3 for sure. So I'm sitting in my room. Playing video games, sitting in my underwear, right? And it's like the 7th round, and I'm listening to it while I'm playing Fortnite. I get a text. So the first thing, I get a text, right? And I drop my controller. I look at my text, and it says, hey, he goes, hey, this is so-and-so. We're from the Phillies. What's your signability? I was like, no way. I was like, I'm ready to sign. My signability is I'm ready to sign. He's like, okay, good to know, And immediately after I had sent, thank you, I get a call from my boy, Tom Kunis. And he calls me, and I answer. I said, hey, Tom, what's going on? And he told me, gave me the number. He's like, are you in? I said, yeah, I'm in. He was like, all right, we're going to take you in the 9th right now. I said, are you kidding me? He's like, yes, you have to be in, though. I was like, I'm in. Let's do this. So I go in the room like, Dad, they're taking me right now. And he's like, no, gets up. He just got a knee replacement. This guy's about to fall over. He's running to the computer. So we start getting people in a little here and there. And I'm like, hey, it's not for sure. He said, hey, just, be patient. Be patient. We're not for sure yet, but we want you in the 9th. And so sure enough, 9th round came, Dodgers pick, Alec Gamboa out of Fresno City. And that was one of the greatest things I'd ever heard in my entire life. I won't ever forget that day. Me and my dad were sitting there waiting for it. He got up. We started hugging, tearing up.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah, I'll never forget that day in my entire life. June 4th, 2019. I should get that tatted somewhere.
You might forget the day. I forgot the day, but I won't. You don't forget the call.
No.
You'll never forget the call and see your name go across the board.
Yeah.
And it is emotional because you not only like a normal player that doesn't go through an injury, worked his entire life to get to that point, and you work your entire life, but then you have to overcome a major injury.
And thinking about the fact that I almost gave up, it was like, man, I'm so glad you didn't, Alec. I'm so glad you didn't, because I think now, I created a lot of opportunities for myself, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited, for my future, so excited. I'm just, thankful for a lot of, my family and friends that helped me, because they're one of the reasons why I didn't give up. They put so much time and effort into my craft. I owe it to them, and I owe it to myself, to go make a name for myself and, hopefully put this town on the map.
Yeah, we were super excited, man. A lot of people, it's pretty nuts, dude.
Yeah, after it happened, and little by little, every 15 minutes, somebody was pulling up to my house. We had a barbecue that day. Tom Kunis was like, I'm coming to your house right now in about 4 hours, and we're signing. I said, okay. I swear, when he got there, it was like the Madera parade. Everybody was there, and I'm like, God, this is crazy. And he's like, dude, what's going on right now? I was like, they just started showing up. This is Madera. I mean, I don't know what you want me to tell you, but they're here. They're happy for me, and they're excited for this.
Nah, that's sweet, dude. It's, definitely good for the program. I think it was Coach Underwood's first draft pick. Mm-hmm. So no, man, we were definitely proud being one of your coaches and seeing what you had to deal with. Now, it hasn't all been roses and easy.
No, sunshine and rainbows, definitely not.
We definitely wanted to get into after high school. Mm-hmm. You got a great opportunity at Fresno State.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be good for some of our listeners that are kids in high school to hear that story, how it worked out and or didn't work out.
Yeah.
That they see that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, that there's Coach Scott gave you an opportunity.
He did.
And but I think, we text, and I don't think you'll be upset if I say this. We text during the city season last year. Mm-hmm. And, I asked if you were happy, and you told me yeah. Mm-hmm. But you followed it up, and you may not remember this tweet or text. He said, "Am I glad I'm at City? And do I love Coach Scott and what we're doing?
Yeah.
Yes. But would I rather be at D1 in Fresno State?"
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
And
absolutely. And I don't think Coach Scott would be mad at that at all. Coach Batesville gave me an opportunity. He believed in me. He believed in me to go perform for his team, and I let him down. It's simple as that. I just wasn't going to my classes. I thought, this is baseball. That's it. And that's not it. You have to go do your work in the classroom, and then you go play some baseball. And I wasn't doing my work in the classroom, and I let him down for that. And, he took my scholarship away, which I think, I definitely deserved that because I wasn't meeting my end of the bargain. And so that's what happened. And unfortunately, I couldn't afford it. And so that's why I had to go to City because of that reason. But no. I really regret it. I really regret the decision I made. But no, at the end of the day, I think everything works out. You just gotta push through those times, and it ended up working out at the end.
Yeah, well, I think with your ability and the talent you had, this was bound to happen. I thought for sure, even in high school, this kid's going to be he's going to play professional baseball. But I think having kids understand, Coach Batesville's many guys that he put. In the pro game, he's put a lot of guys in the pro game.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
He also has one of the highest graduating rates in D1 baseball. Mm-hmm. And, talking with Scotty Silva.
Yeah.
And you and Scotty were boys.
Yeah, yeah.
Scott's it's no joke.
Yeah,
he really cares about what goes on in the classroom. I mean,
he does. Absolutely.
It is a very high priority.
We had a binder, and you would go to your teacher every time what needed to be done, your homework, your assignments, your tests, and every Thursday you needed to go show whatever coach you were assigned to. You needed to show them, and if you had a bad grade, you had to explain why. And if that was the case, you had more hours of study hall. And every Thursday we were doing that. I would say he definitely cared more about the academics than baseball. He really cared about the future of the kid, and he wanted every single kid that went through that program to graduate, which I think is a great thing. But he obviously wanted to win baseball games.
Sure.
That's what he does. But no, it's not like academics wasn't.
Well, and he even said degrees and rings. Rings are second. You know what I mean? The degrees part's first.
Yeah.
Well, if he knows that you're going to put the time in for your homework and that aspect, he knows you're going to put the work into baseball. Mm-hmm. It goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
Because you can't have guys just put work in for baseball and not the classroom, because you won't make it. You won't be eligible. It's just the way it is. If you don't do the work, you're not going to be eligible. You can't play. Yeah. So, but you were talking about study hall and stuff. I've been through it. Why don't you give these young bucks out there a good of a day of what you did at Fresno State, from workouts morning all the way till
night.
So
I would say the hitters had it a little tough because they had 6 a.m. workouts pretty much every morning. We did to start, but it wasn't like that. A typical day for me would be I had class from 8 to about 1 maybe, and then practice from 2 until, and if there was times we were at the field until about 9 o'clock. We had long days. But if we weren't at the field, we were at the field for maybe 2 to 4. And you're done by 5, you're not really done by 5. You got to go to study hall, and study hall doesn't close until 9, so you better stay there until 9 and finish all the homework. And if you finish up all your homework, well, just stay in there and start studying. You have to be in there until 9. You got to get your study hall hours, and you have to have I think it was 12 hours a week of study hall. And it was tough because you were obviously going to class and playing baseball, so you had to make sure you were, doing it the right way and going right after practice, staying there until 9.
Yeah, and then you also had to go to the cafeteria and eat.
Yeah.
Or go get some dinner and be
they had
back,
a little.
you know.
They had a little in the training room there. You know, in the middle of study hall. You know, if you can go walk over, go grab a bagel, get a snack, go to the weight room, grab a chocolate milk. But yeah, you definitely were busy. That's for sure. There was no free time.
No, it's no joke, and I think that's where, you know, a lot of these high school kids, even you coming out of high school, you probably didn't even understand, you know, the aspect of what goes in a full day of a college athlete, because a lot of times in high school it's like, oh man, we're practicing for 2.5 hours. That's all we can practice in high school. Wait till you go to college where there's no time limit when you're actually able to practice. Yeah, I mean, you're trying to make sure you get to study hall. Like if it's that Thursday or Friday and you're like, man, I got 2 hours left to study hall, because it happens.
It does. It did happen a lot.
And you're like, oh man, when's practice going to end? You know, and you might miss an hour because of it.
And if you miss an hour, the next practice, Bates's calling you into his office and you're getting lit up.
Yeah.
You're getting lit up.
So that's why sometimes we would, you know, if you had like a 30-minute break between classes, you go to study hall, clock in, so you get that 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So you're trying to do everything you can to get those 12 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough, man. They don't understand it. And even you didn't understand what it was like. And you can get caught up in the college life.
I did. I definitely did. And I regret it. You know, I was too busy, you know, partying a little bit, I would say. But
it happens.
Yeah.
You're not the only one, and you won't be the last one.
No.
You know, so it's just, I think that these kids need to understand that you get a Division I scholarship. Yeah, you can have fun, but remember why you're there.
Yeah.
You know, you're there to get a great education and play Division I baseball, which is tough to do in the first, but then obviously get a chance at pro ball.
Well, you got to go. You made the road trip to Texas
A&M. Oh my!
How
God.
sweet is that place?
It was awesome. I think we had about 6,000-7,000 fans there, and just like it was like a taste of like actual, just like it was almost like a professional game. There was kids, you know, during BP they wanted to play catch with you. Fans everywhere, and God, I'm telling you, they chirped a lot in the dugout. Oh, and you know, they're infamous for the ball 6. Right. We had a guy, we had a guy get up to ball 9, and I'm telling you right now, it was loud. Once he threw that strike he walked a guy, ball, and then a strike. Stadium erupted, and I'm like, dude, if you're a pitcher, you are losing your shit right now. And there we go again, doing it.
That's fine.
You know, before we're gonna wrap up here pretty soon, but what was the like biggest adjustment when you got from city? You know, you I think your first 2 games were pretty rough, right?
First game wasn't as rough, but my next like 2 to 4 games, yeah, it was definitely rough.
Like I get, I'm not trying to call you out either.
I
but like,
You're not facing normal guys either.
No, not at all.
I mean, you're not facing guys that can't handle a fastball. I mean, you miss, you're going to pay for it.
Oh yeah, and I paid for it for 3 games. It was hard, you know, trying to figure these hitters out. I don't know any of these hitters. I don't know their approaches. I don't know how they play the game. At City, you know, it's different type of, you know, approaches at the plate. But you face professional hitters, you're going to find out soon enough that these guys have approaches and they know what they're doing, and a fastball you're not going to blow a fastball right by them like you did at Fresno City. And my off speed too, I couldn't throw them from strikes, and so I had to figure that out. And they made me figure that out, because if I wasn't going to figure that out, I'd have got a one-way ticket back to Madera. So yeah, but no, it was tough. And once I got that going though, it was a little easier.
More confidence builds up.
Yeah.
What were some of the things they had you specifically work on right from the get-go? I mean, obviously your velocity picked up pretty quick.
Yeah. And see, the thing, I worked on this too a lot at City, and it's been kind of a thing that's always been my problem, is I was opening up too early when I was throwing. My front shoulder, I wasn't keeping closed, and I was torquing my upper body before my landing foot would ever land. And so they were like, hey, you're using all arm right now. You need to keep that front shoulder closed and, you know, get that torque going at the end. And that's what really helped me. And once I'm on the mound and I tell myself, hey, front shoulder closed, stay as sideways as possible before you can, you know, rotate, you know, do that. And so once I got that in my head, that's when I was more accurate. I was throwing these off speed pitches for strikes. And yeah, that was one thing that they saw early on. And I was like, yeah, I did have this problem at City, but I got away with it a little bit because obviously I wasn't facing as good hitters up here as I was down there. So I became more consistent with it and started putting up some good numbers towards the end because of it.
Yeah, you finished solid. I mean, your ERA was close to a 7.
I mean,
at one point.
Yeah, I think the highest I saw my ERA was 11, but that was early on. I didn't throw much innings. I gave up like 5 earned runs or something like that early on.
But you finished strong. You finished with a 2.98 ERA, which isn't bad. And you had I got it right here. You were 1-1, but I mean you're on an inning limit also because you had Tommy John and all that kind of stuff. 25 innings. Your strikeouts were 33, still above. Mm-hmm. And your batting average, you were actually getting raked a little bit. Your batting average is well over 300. You dropped it down to 209, those are good stats, man. And you finished strong. You have a great future ahead of you. And you're going to Instructs, right?
I am.
You leave Sunday.
I leave Sunday.
And I got to go to Instructs. It's fun, man.
That's what they keep telling me, and I'm excited. I already want to leave. I'm excited to be there Sunday.
It's a lot of fun. Enjoy it. You were telling us in the car, they kind of gave you some things to work on this offseason. Yeah. Can you let everybody know about some of that stuff?
So what their main, we had a meeting with the head coach, pitching coach, and the trainer there. And what they want me to work on this offseason is my core and my scapula on my left side, which kind of, was surprising a little bit because, we were talking about, I've kind of played a lot of sports in my life. I never had the problem with having a
weak core.
And so they tell me that. It's kind of surprising, but hey, obviously, they're there for a reason. They know what they're doing. And so I have to, if I need to get a stronger core, that's what I'm going to do then. If I got to get a stronger scap, that's what I'm going to do.
You were in the lowest of low in the rookie league.
Yeah.
And how many levels there is ahead of you to how many players there are in your organization to how many American players to international players. Let the listeners know, what you're competing against.
And so when we first show up there, the draft guys are probably the only American guys there. It's probably 85% Latin players in the clubhouse. And these guys can play. And not only can they play, but they're young. And so they have a lot of leeway. You need to work your ass off from day one and, keep it going because these guys, they're playing for something. That's the thing I love about playing with these guys, and they're cool kids. We became friends, and it's hard talking to them. Obviously, they don't know too good of English, but they're ballers. And if you're a pitcher and you have ballers behind you, I can do that. 8 days a week. It's just fun playing with guys like that. But
that's if we added another day into the week.
8 days a week, 25 hours in a day. Come on.
Well, there's not a lot of privilege, right? They come from less, and
they're trying to get out of their life and make their families better and. It almost like brings it to like what baseball is really about. Yeah. It's like, it's more to them than just playing the game.
And, we're going on, there was a 5-hour game we got into. So we were coming home about 1:00 in the morning and you had guys, falling asleep on the bus, but there's about 10 Latin players in the front of the bus bumping some Latin music, just all screaming and dancing. I'm like, God, these guys, I'm trying to go to sleep, and I'm like, that's how they love this thing. They love being here, and they
don't take it for granted.
No, not at all. And it's just, you love to see that. You love watching players not take the game for granted.
Well, you got to take that and put it into your own mindset.
Yeah, and it's definitely helped me out being around those guys, and I became good friends with some. One of my buddy. Johan Valdez, he FaceTimed me the other day from the Dominican and was showing me around. We can't really talk either, and we're just kind of, like, all right, here and there. But no, he's showing me his life over there, and I'm loving it, and he goes, "I love you, bro. I love you, bro." He calls me Gumby, and it's the coolest thing ever. I showed my dad, and he's like, "God, that's awesome that you can meet friends like this, And I'm loving it. I'm loving every second of it.
That's great.
Nah, dude, we're super pumped.
But that goes for everybody out there. All you young guys, work your butts off.
Yep.
Get better. It's not just a game. It's a lifestyle. If you want to get to that level.
Well, yeah, you had some guys verbally commit, right? You guys have 3.
Yeah.
The work doesn't stop now. No, it just picks up.
It has to.
You're right. You can't come out thinking, all right, I'm done. I verbally committed. I'm going to sign and then it's all cake and roses. No, it's the work's going to increase. The expectations are going to be more. So, you've got to change.
Even with Alec, same thing.
The mindset's got to start now.
Yeah.
So, dude, just having been able to coach you, I'm super proud of you, man.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you.
Special for our program. The community, everybody, just the support here. It ain't going to go anywhere. You know that.
Yeah.
And
The Valley. I mean, one of the best in the Valley, not just Madera, but in the Valley.
thanks for coming on, dude. I know you're not here very long,
No,
and everybody wants a piece of you. And I'm glad you just took an hour of your day to come chill with us. And
Yeah, no, I wanted to for sure.
reminisce.
Absolutely.
And before we go, you had a former coach, his son. I want to bring up Walton.
Yeah, my
Donnie.
coach, Rob Walton at Oral Roberts, he's now the pitching coach at Oklahoma State. He wanted to sign Gamboa too, but Gamboa chose Fresno State, which is fine. But yeah, his son Donnie Walton he's playing today. Actually, he got called up. He got called up 2 days ago. They lost their playoff game. They were done, and he got called up out of AA Arkansas. I'll probably be in the lineup today. But the good thing about Donnie, I've kept in touch. I was really close with Rob. Coaches have their guys or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
All my buddies on the team call me the golden boy because, coach always – I just have a good relationship. But
Yeah.
Donnie was, 11 years old when I was at Oral Roberts, and he was out there switch hitting and taking ground balls with us. And just to see him go from that to – obviously, he went to Bishop Kelly High School, and then he went to Oklahoma State to play for his dad. Had a great career there. And they went to College World Series. And then be in the Mariners organization, and which is the – team I was originally drafted by out of Fresno City, but now just to get that opportunity, it's just awesome. I feel like I've been there every step of the way, even though I haven't. But just that relationship I have, even with Donnie, I hit him up and he got back to me right away.
Well, he's been supporting the show, man.
He does, and we got to show him love too. Even though he's not a Valley guy, he's still a friend and almost a family member. Because they had me over for Thanksgiving when I was in Oklahoma because I couldn't go home, I couldn't afford it. So, I've always felt like a family member to them, and I appreciate everything they did for me, and I hope Donnie stays through it, man.
You get to live the
I'm
dream,
proud.
though, man. That's awesome. I saw that tweeted last night. I was like, I got to hit up Chad, and of course, you already knew, but
I already knew, man.
yeah, no, it's pretty cool, man. Well, Gambo,
hopefully one day we'll be
we'll
talking
be
about
going.
this guy.
We'll be bugging you for tickets for your debut.
He'll be playing at
know.
Chavez Ravine against the Giants.
I'm
Gambo
looking
against
forward to that.
Bumgarner will be like 50.
It's still going, huh?
Yeah.
That would be nice.
You said you beat Bum for your first win.
That'd
Imagine
be awesome.
That'd be God.
So when you get back from spring, well, you won't be back from spring training, but maybe
Instructs is like 3 weeks.
It's a month. Yeah, I'll
3
be
to
back.
4 weeks. Yeah.
I'll be back October 12th. I leave the 15th. I'll be back the 12th.
Yeah.
well, good.
Yeah.
Enjoy
Get
it,
after
man.
it,
Have
yeah.
fun.
I am.
Work hard, dude. Keep grinding. You got to beat not just one guy out. You got to beat hundreds of guys out. And we believe in you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Got all the tools, man. You've always had the tools.
Thank
Yep.
you.
It's all mental now.
Yeah, it is. That's for sure. Absolutely.
Well, thanks everybody. That's it's episode 15 of the Hit or Die podcast. Chad,
Hit or die.
Hit or die, baby.
You can stream the Hit or Die podcast on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, Spreaker, and iHeartRadio. The show is also available on YouTube. For news and updates about the show or to get involved, check us out on Facebook and Twitter at Hit or Die Podcast.